my mother had, but yeah, you didn't go to the doctor. Are you kidding me? And she had Bootlegged Bactrim in the pantry.
Yeah.
It was made by Roche and it was white. And every time you cough, she would shake it and she'd give you 2 days of antibiotics for nothing. And that's the way the mothers did.
Both read the snow to get to the Bactrim, right? You walk uphill both ways.
So we're from Colombia. So she would go every 2 years, we'd go to Colombia for a couple of weeks. And she had this pediatrician that saw me when I was born, and he would check you out. She was making sure everything was okay, that the American doctors didn't miss it. And he would give her a dose for Bactrim and Donatol. And she would bring 3 bottles of Bactrim and a bottle of Donatol. She didn't kill me, luckily, with the Donatol, but it was another world.
Yeah. Now, in regards to training and preparedness for a physician, I don't think we had training. I know when I came out, I was supposed to take care of ADHD. So what did I do? I read a book. Somebody showed me some stuff. There's a million patients, and over time you learned about it. Today's physicians, they don't really have training. Again, they're hesitant, I'm finding, to treat ADHD and give a little bit of Ritalin. Simple old school stuff.
And all you need is a couple of successes, right? Only a couple of kids who come back after 2 months and the parents like, oh my goodness, they haven't been able to get their homework done or their grades are suddenly better for you to appreciate how helpful.
I don't know in New York, right? But in Virginia, and this is Sandy Chunk's work, not only do they have a Virginia Mental Access Program, which is phenomenal, but they also have, it's free for any Virginia physician or clinician, the REACH program. You can take it in person or you can do it online, like online a weekend, followed by a Project Echo that lasts 6 months. And it's absolutely free to take. It just, your time, right? Time is valuable, but you can do a lot of good by just going through that process.
Get that Project REACH program.
But you quit halfway because they started talking about
The ADHD was good. The anxiety, the depression was very good. But once they started talking into schizophrenia and OCD and all the esoteric, weird, high-level stuff, it's not going to be for me.
Yeah,
that's what they were focusing on.
Part of that, though, George, is you may not be the one that's, and we shouldn't be the one that's starting kids on these medications and getting them to where they're stable, but we're going to get these kids back from the psychiatrist. I don't know what child psychiatry is like in your neck of the woods, but I can't tell you how many times I'd get that panicked phone call from the parent that the psychiatrist is on vacation and that they have someone who's their backup who's not answering my calls and I need a refill medication. I'm glad you mentioned Project REACH. I'm glad you mentioned the Child Psychiatry Access Program that we talked about earlier, because those are the two things you can do easily and that everyone should do easily relative to having a total behavioral health and integration program. The other thing, George, to get back to folks who are training now is I think depending on where people have trained, they're going to have more or less experience with primary care mental health. During my residency, we got lectures on Munchausen's because the child psychiatrist was really interested in Munchausen's. We got a couple of lectures on ADHD, but the folks that we've hired over the last few years, we're really mentoring them and helping them learn about these medications and these conditions and how to identify. We have our child psychiatrist, like I said, set up as a consultation, right? Her job is not to follow kids forever. It's to get kids to the point where they're stable enough to come back to us for a medication management and ongoing follow-up, or to decide that this is a kid who really needs a full-time child psychiatrist involved. And so we're going to refer them out to one of the child psychiatrists in our community to continue to follow them, right? To kids who may have a nuance of bipolar or schizophrenia or co-occurrent substance abuse, that sort of thing. The other part of this is like that for all of us. 10, 12 years ago, when we first started managing more ADHD in our practice, one of my partners who has been practicing just as long as I have looked at me because I had been managing ADHD for a few years at that point and said, so you just write these prescriptions for Ritalin and Adderall just like albuterol? Just like albuterol. Because once you learn the medication and you learn the indications and how to manage them, then that's what you do. It becomes part of your skill set.